Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Happy birthday to you all. My name is Dr. Ray. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my inner monologue, where I help you guys basically break down your questions related to pet food. You guys could actually ask me other questions too, but this seems to be like the thing that you guys are most interested in, so I try to give you what you guys want. And so I had a question. Apparently in Ohio there's a very popular brand called Dr. Gary's Best Breed, and so I reached out to them to get the information that we need to go ahead and evaluate this food. Now they do cat food and dry food, and long and short of it, without getting really in the weeds about it, Dr. Gary is a veterinarian, and he came up with this pet food because he thought it addressed some of the needs of his patients, and then it became very popular, and now you can buy it I think internationally, honestly. And so we're going to go through and see. I do not know any more about it than that. I don't know where he got his numbers from. I'm not sure of his background, so you guys can look into that and let me know. I just want to go through the pet food, and so that's what we're going to do today. You can follow along if you like. It's bestbreed.com. And we're going to use Dr. Ray's pet food scoring system. If you're not familiar with that, we have the scorecard here. We're going to go through the scorecard, and this is just a baseline general approach just to see at a very superficial level if a pet food meets the marks. Now, once we get through these, this superficial checklist, and I like to think if they score a 7 or above, that's a green light, we can dive in a little bit deeper and get to some more of the nitty-gritty. And so we're going to go through baseline today, and then there may be some additional things that are important to you, such as cost, sustainability, ingredients. Those things to me are on a second tier. But today we're going to be going through a first tier, and we're going to do Dr. Gary's Best. We're going to do a dog diet and a cat diet. All right, so let's pick one. Now, I don't do these ahead of time. I just really, go through to make sure the information that we need is available. I did send them an email to try to get some additional information, because what's listed on the package, although all the parameters are there, they are minimums and maximums. I like to have absolutes. I did not get a response from the company, which is a little sad. I'd like a company, my pet food company, to be a little bit more responsive, but they probably get a lot of emails, so we're going to go through with what we have. I will say, as a veterinarian, I do get a little bit concerned when we see grain-free dog formulas. As veterinarians, we know that there is some issues there. There are some serious concerns there, and as veterinarians, we take an oath to do no harm. And so what that can mean is, if you don't know that something is that it is good, or that a pet needs it, and there's no real reason why a pet would need grain-free, we know that grain-free is not, grains are not contributing to pets overall, at least in dogs, allergies, and it doesn't contribute to, it's the protein sources that do. If you know something is potentially dangerous, and you don't see any realistic benefit, we avoid it, and that's the basis behind do no harm, which is veterinarian's motto. At least it's in the States it is. And so when I see that grain-free formulas and put about by a veterinarian, I do get a little bit concerned that there's a heavy marketing component to this food. The other thing is this term right here, holistic. Holistic has zero definition, zero meaning in pet food industry. There may be a definition somewhere on this website as to what they're defining holistic as, but really they can put the word holistic on anything they want, and it'd be fine. So, they can put shoe leather in here and say that it's holistic, and they're legally fine with that. And so please know that term holistic is a marketing term, and so I just wanted to pull that out for you guys, because that's kind of what we do a little bit on this channel too. We pull out some of the marketing things. So let's just pick a good one here. Let's just go with the all breed dog recipe. This food's called Dr. Gary's all breed best, so let's go with the all breed dog recipe. Okay. We're gonna start going through the parameters here. Let's start with the ingredient list. So they get 2 points if it's not grain-free and it's not raw. I did pick a grain-inclusive option because I want to set this up for success. I like to give you guys 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s to consider. So we're going to use the grained option, and they do get 2 points there because it's not grain-free and it's not raw. So we're up to 2 points so far. I want to find the AFCO statement. Here it is. Best breed all dog recipe is formulated, so they did not do feeding trials on this. There are, a lot of companies don't. Smaller companies may not have the wherewithal to do feeding trials. So it's just 1 point. They can lose that point and still get a 7, 8, 9, or 10. So they are going to lose a point there because it's feeding trial. To meet the nutritional levels by AFCO for all life stages, including the growth of large breed dogs. And so here, I do have a little bit of an issue, and they're going to get a deduction. The next little statement here says this formula will benefit dogs of all sizes and life stages, puppy through senior, and that is not true. And so, as a veterinarian, I know that the nutritional requirements for a puppy are vastly different than the nutritional requirements for a senior. And so you ideally do not want a food that is all life stages, because you cannot take a pet that is growing very rapidly like a puppy that needs a lot of calories, a lot of fat, a different mineral concentration to grow all those bones. Those values and those requirements cannot be the same as a 12-year-old dog or a 14-year-old dog that is in the sunset of their life. It doesn't need all those nutrients. And so, unfortunately, when I see these statements that say this formula can benefit dogs of all sizes, it can and it might, and we're going to get into the nutrient values, but most of the time that's not the case, and so they are going to lose 2 points there for the AFCO statement. So we're at two points right now on the Dr. Ray's Pet Food Scoring System scorecard, and I hope you're following along at home with your scorecard. The guaranteed analysis is here, and it is minimums and maximums. It's not a dry matter basis. They do say that this data is calculated, and they do use their actual lab analysis, and it is not intended to represent absolute values, and so they cannot guarantee these, but it's the best that we can get because they did not respond to my emails. And so I'm going to pull up our adult dog chart. I am going to evaluate it as an adult dog food. And so they're saying the crude protein minimum is 25%, which is totally appropriate. It should be between 15 and 30. The fat is 12%, which is completely appropriate. It should be 10 and 20. And then we get down here to the minerals, and this is where a lot of pet food companies run into trouble. The phosphorus is 1.3%, which is an excess for an adult dog, and so is the phosphorus at 0.9. And so you can see here there's a little bit of a discrepancy as what is optimal for an adult dog, and these numbers that I'm sharing with you come from Small Animal Clinical Nutrition. This is a textbook. It's linked down below. You can read through it and peruse through it, and these are for optimal nutrition. It's one of the only published texts available, and so that's why I have chosen it to go through. There's a lot of references in there, and I do encourage you to, if you have time, to go through and peruse through that textbook, but that's where this information comes from. And these are not AFCO values because this food is AFCO appropriate. But AFCO is just, it's just the bare bones. What we want is optimal. And you can see when these parameters are out of range, it is not optimal for an adult dog, because what happens when you have excess calcium and phosphorus? You're going to put extra strain on your kidneys, and they're going to have, issues going forward with things like stone formation, kidney issues, and we really don't want that. That's not optimal, which is what we're looking for. So they're going to lose 2 points there. Fiber, we need to be less than 5. Let's see if we can get that point, and we can at 4.5. So we're going to get 3 points for the guaranteed analysis, which is going to bring this food up right now to a 5. The last thing we use is the feeding guide, and so I like to pick 20 pounds because 20 pounds is a nice round number, and we calculate it all the time on this channel. But they don't have 20 pounds listed. They've got a little bit of a weird dosing rate, so we're actually going to calculate it today. And so let's pull up my graphing calculator here. And so you can check out my resting energy requirement video. It's going to go through how I'm going to calculate this very quickly. But basically, if you have a 23-pound dog, and that's what I'm going to use because they're saying you feed a 23-pound dog 1 1/4 cups, you convert that to kilograms. And so that's 10 kilograms. And then you take that to the exponent 0.75, and you multiply that by 70. Yes, so the resting energy requirement for a 23-pound dog is 406. And so let's see if they are recommending we feed the right amount. This is 500 54 times 1.25. 567 is what they're recommending we feed. So 567 is what they're recommending, and we said, so they're recommending it's over supplementation. So it is over supplementation, but I would say this, a 466 resting energy requirement, there are some multipliers that can be used. I'll go ahead and pop this chart here, and you can zoom in on it and you can see these multipliers. These multipliers are also on small animal clinical nutrition, and you can do 1.6, which brings it up to 649. So I'm going to go ahead and give them the point there, and that's going to bring this up to a 6 for the dog, which is an okay food. Now, if you're feeding this, I'm not saying to change, especially if this food was recommended by your veterinarian. I don't have personal relationships with your pets, and so I'm never going to recommend anything. I don't make recommendations. I'm just working through this food to help you guys have a very logical approach to it. But certainly everybody's individual needs are different, and so keep that in mind. I do want to move on to the cat though, so let's not leave out our furry cat friends. It is Purse Day after all. Cats have a different set of nutritional requirements, so we're going to go ahead and pull those up here in a minute. Cat diet, chicken, herring, and whole grains. We're going to click that one. We're going to work through it in the same fashion. Now, we already know by looking at it, and it is not grain free or raw, so they're already going to get 2 points there. I do want to find, the AFCO statement was listed kind of in a weird place on the other one. Okay, and so it's going to be the same thing. They're going to lose another 2 points there. Same thing as the dog, and it's all life stages, and it is formulated. And so far we're up to 2 points. Let's get to the guaranteed analysis, and let's see how that stacks up. I'm going to pull my chart again from Small Animal Clinical Nutrition. You can definitely peruse that chapter on cat requirements. It's very invigorating. So for the adult cat, we want our protein to be between 30 and 45. They're listing a minimum of 30%, and I actually like that. The low end of the protein range can be good, especially for cats that are, prone to kidney disease, especially as they age. I like a moderate to low protein for those guys. Crude fat at 12%, and that's very nicely situated in the range, so I like that. Fiber at 7% is, they're going to lose a point there because we want fiber less than 5, but I'm not mad about that. A lot of cats do have issues with constipation. They're naturally they naturally live in a state of dehydration. They don't drink well, and that's why a lot of people theorize that canned food is better for cats. There's a lot of research going on right now that's showing that does seem to be the case. Cat fountains are good. Adding water to dry food can be good, and so I can see where that added fiber and why Dr. Gary may have added that fiber in there. But I don't know that the data is there to completely substantiate that all cats need 7%. So they are going to lose a point for that, but I'm not mad about it. And that's where the pet food scoring system, that's where I want you guys to use your brain, even with that. So it's giving us a baseline, but there may be specific situations where your cat has a problem with constipation and you need that extra fiber. Go for it, So, just that's what I'm throwing out there for you guys. I'm just trying to stimulate, conversation and intelligent thought. And so they are going to lose that point. Now let's get down to our minerals, because I think minerals in cats is super important and everybody should be paying attention to this, and I know not everybody does because they're not glamour nutrients. Everybody wants to focus on the protein, but minerals in cats, especially with their kidney disease and they're being prone to urinary stones and blockages, I think minerals are super important, and I hope Dr. Gary does too. Calcium at 1.4% is going to be in excess, and that's really disappointing, and phosphorus is also in excess, so we fall short there. We're going to lose two points. And so on the guaranteed analysis, we're only walking away with 2 points, which is only bringing this food up to a 4. So even if the feeding guide is correct, we're not going to make it anywhere to where I would like to be. But let's just go ahead and see where we're at. Normal cats are around, healthy weight, 10 pounds. 20 pounds is a little bit much, but again, we know that 20 pounds resting energy is 363. So this food is 400 kcals per cup. And they're saying 1 cup. So yeah, they will get a point on the feeding guide. So that's going to bring this up to a 4, which again to me kind of falls short. Let's see where we are with cost. I think you can buy this. You can buy locally, which is awesome. I love that. And you can get it on Chewy. All right. So the Dr. Gary's Best Breed Holistic All Life Stages Dry Cat Food. And we talked about why All Life Stages is not our favorite. I don't know why they would tout that as being a good thing. For a 12-pound bag, it's $3.50 a pound. Okay, so maybe that factors in a little bit to your calculus. Let's see what the dog one. Let's just back it up here. All right, so here it is. 28-pound bag is going to cost you $2.40 a pound. That 28-pound bag is $66.99 if you buy it one time, and $63.64 if you buy it on auto ship. So I hope whoever asked me about this is still out there watching. All you people in Ohio that are interested in Dr. Gary's, that's my take using the Dr. Gary's pet food scoring system on Dr. Gary's for both cats and dogs. Best breed all breed cat and best breed all breed dog. And so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me some comments, leave me some more requests, and we will hang out again next Thursday. All right, guys, bye.